July 11, 1941. Dawn fractures over the Mediterranean. The azure waters shimmer, but above, shadowed silhouettes of Bf-109s escorting screaming U-87 Stukas streak toward Valletta. Lieutenant Hans-Dieter Bohm grips his controls, heart hammering. Bombs clutched under Stuka wings, their sirens wail, a terrifying mechanical scream. Hurricanes roar from the cloud line, engines screaming. Every split-second decision could mean survival or a plunge into the Mediterranean.
The sky over Valletta is a storm of smoke and steel. Hurricanes weave desperately between explosions, engines screaming. Flight Lieutenant Peter Thompson twists his Spitfire, guns stuttering, tracers slicing the blue haze. Oberleutnant Karl Richter counters with deadly precision. Below, civilians scatter, streets trembling with terror. And then a bomber erupts in flames, spiraling toward the sea. Malta is awake, and the first blood has been drawn.
The Stuka's dive siren screams, a banshee wail freezing blood. Unteroffizier Wilhelm Kruger plunges toward a fuel depot, bombs locked. Tracers zip past his cockpit. Pilot Officer James Harrington fires. The bomber wobbles, engine smoking, yet still fights to survive. Streets shake with explosions, civilians ducking. The terror is mechanical, precise, unstoppable. And then a siren screams again, closer this time. Could anyone survive? The sky is a deadly chessboard. Squadron leader Jack Smith yanks his Hurricane into a climb, dodging a Bf-109. Tracers flash, metal twists, engines roar. Flight Lieutenant Peter Thompson is wedged between two enemy planes, bullets chipping his wing. Below, Malta's harbor burns. Every second counts. One split-second mistake could end it all. Smoke stings Lieutenant Bohm's eyes as bullets zip past. Flight Lieutenant Thompson skims rooftops, chasing a damaged Stuka. Malta's civilians scream, debris raining down. Bohm twists sharply, narrowly avoiding a hurricane. The Luftwaffe's precision is eroding. Every dive, every maneuver carries the weight of survival. And then, another explosion rocks the sky dangerously close.
Flames lick the clouds above Valletta as Stukas meet their fate. Lieutenant Bohm wrestles with smoke-stinging eyes, every control input a fight against gravity and fire. Flight Lieutenant Thompson dives, dodging flaming wreckage, weaving between explosions. Malta trembles below, civilians ducking, ears ringing. The Luftwaffe's dominance is fraying, but the sky remains deadly. And then, another bomb detonates perilously close.
Smoke thickens, sky heavy with danger. Squadron leader Jack Smith spots 3 Bf-109s straying too close. He dives, tracers streak, one plane erupts in flames. Oberleutnant Richter barely recovers. Malta's defenders are learning, adapting, striking with precision. Lieutenant Bohm fights to regain control, realizing the Luftwaffe's first shock is fading. Then, a distant roar signals incoming RAF reinforcements. Could Malta's skies finally push back? Smoke curls into the morning sun as Flight Lieutenant Thompson loops his Spitfire on a Stuka. Every heartbeat matches engine roar. Every breath tastes of oil and adrenaline. Maltese anti-aircraft crews fire relentlessly, each explosion a warning. Bohm sweeps his cockpit. RAF pilots predict the Stuka's deadly dives. The Luftwaffe's aura of invincibility begins to crack. And then a hurricane shadows Bohm, closing fast. Engines roar. Tracers streak past Bohm's cockpit. He twists, narrowly avoiding a Spitfire. Thompson dives low, dodging flaming debris, chasing a wounded Stuka. Malta's streets below are chaos, civilians screaming, debris falling. The Luftwaffe's formation is fractured, every maneuver more dangerous than the last. Another explosion shakes Bohm's plane. Will he survive this relentless crucible of the skies?
Smoke and tension press down on the Luftwaffe pilots. Böhm's formation is scattered, engines smoking, morale slipping. RAF pilots push harder, Hurricanes and Spitfires cutting deadly paths. Anti-aircraft fire from Malta tears into the sky. The island is alive, defending itself. And then a bomber falters, spiraling into the harbor. Malta is no easy target. The Luftwaffe realizes the cost of every dive.
Roar of engines dominates as RAF pilots anticipate Stuka dives. Hurricanes and Spitfires coordinate like a living organism. Maltese anti-aircraft fire rakes the sky, forcing bombers into jagged paths. Bohm sees planes faltering, the Luftwaffe's precision crumbling. Each maneuver now carries greater risk. And then another Stuka spirals, smoke trailing, plummeting toward the Mediterranean. Malta's defenders prove resilient under relentless fire. Sun climbs higher, but smoke masks the sky. Böhm struggles, smoke stinging, controls trembling under stress. Thompson weaves through black plumes from damaged bombers. Civilians huddle in shadows, watching the chaos unfold. Luftwaffe formations fracture, precision lost. And then a bomb explodes near the harbor, sending water and debris skyward. Malta refuses to fall quietly. The battle intensifies.
The sky is a maelstrom. Bohm twists his Bf 109 to evade tracers, each movement a gamble. Thompson dives on a crippled Stuka, flames licking its fuselage. Streets below are rivers of panic. Bohm swings sharply to avoid a hurricane, formation shattered. Survival is the only goal. And then a tracer rips past his cockpit, seconds from disaster. Malta's skies are testing nerves and skill like a crucible.
Engines roar, tracers streak past. Bohm twists, narrowly avoiding a Spitfire. Thompson dives on another crippled Stuka, smoke trailing. Streets below scarred with debris. The Luftwaffe's dominance slips, precise terror replaced by desperate survival. And then another Stuka hit, spiraling toward the sea. Malta's skies are a crucible where every second decides life or death. Smoke and fire hang heavy over Valletta. Bohm fights to steady his battered Bf 109, realizing the Luftwaffe's first wave is losing cohesion. Thompson and Jack Smith coordinate attacks with deadly timing, forcing bombers into jagged, vulnerable paths. Malta's anti-aircraft fire tears through the sky. And then a Stuka spirals out of control, flames trailing toward the harbor. The island is no easy conquest. The tide is shifting.
The sky is a tangle of smoke, fire, and twisting planes. Bohm executes impossible rolls, G-forces pressing him into the seat. Thompson weaves between flaming wreckage, chasing a damaged Stuka. Anti-aircraft fire cuts lethal lines through the air. Formations fracture, precision is gone, and every maneuver carries mortal risk. Another Stuka, crippled, narrowly misses the harbor. Malta fights back with unyielding courage. Smoke and tracer fire crisscross the sky. Bohm struggles to maintain control as his squadron fractures. Hurricanes and Spitfires press relentlessly, forcing bombers into erratic paths. Malta's anti-aircraft fire tears holes in the Luftwaffe's lines. Precision has dissolved into chaos. Survival becomes the only goal. And then, a tracer narrowly misses Bum's cockpit, a reminder that the skies are lethal and unforgiving.
The roar of engines, the scream of sirens, and the flash of tracer fire dominate the sky. Boom's hands ache as he twists to evade Spitfire fire. Thompson dives on a damaged Stuka, smoke trailing behind. Streets below are chaos, civilians panicking, debris raining down. The Luftwaffe's first wave has fractured. And then another bomber spirals out of control, disappearing into the sea. Malta's skies are a merciless crucible of survival.
Smoke and fire still churn the sky, but the tide is shifting. Böhm feels the weight of the island's defense, the unyielding courage of RAF pilots and Maltese anti-aircraft crews. Hurricanes and Spitfires anticipate dives, forcing Stukas and Bf-109s into vulnerable maneuvers. Bombers falter, engines fail, formations collapse, and then the roar of reinforcements from Sicily. Malta refuses to yield, proving that skill, courage, and resilience can turn the tide even against overwhelming firepower.